Thank you. Yeah, this is a huge honor. This means so much to me. I want to say thanks to Ryan, Ashley, Smith, Chris, Bill, Bear, the coaching staff, everyone that's helped me reach this goal. And I sacrificed a lot of time and effort, and I'm super excited to be here and be the first captain.
Thanks, Clayton. We'll now open it up to Q&A. As a reminder, please state your name and affiliation before asking a question. Please look to David or Rachel for the mic.
Yeah, now it works. Alex Duma with the Hockey News. First of all, Kels, congratulations. I know how much this means to you and how much this means to the franchise, obviously, as Bill talked about. But to be the first to have the Utah Hockey Club sweater on with the C on it, for you personally, what does this reflect? What does this reflect as part of your journey to get to this point in your career?
Yeah, I've been through a lot, a lot of ups and downs. I think my leadership has grown over the years. I came into the league when I was 18, 19 years old, and was so focused on myself. And as I gotten older and grew up a little bit more, I started to realize, the impact that a guy can have on their team and their team success, and making guys feel comfortable. And I think I've taken big steps in that direction. Just always being there for your teammate, and guys will say it. I'm hard on them sometimes, but it's because I care, and deep down I want the best for them and myself as well.
Belle Fraser, Salt Lake Tribune. Bill, why was it important for the team to name a captain this year after not having one in first year in Utah?
Well, it goes back a long way. I think we really wanted to get the process right. If you name the wrong guy, it goes sideways pretty quick. And there's a whole bunch of people that are involved in the process, mainly coach. He's in the day-to-day grind every day, and he's got to have someone that represents him. And we wanted to make sure that, number one, we got the right person. And I think the other part of that is what we talked about when we came here in the spring was we needed to get over the hump. We need to push this organization, and the only way to do that is have a leader and a captain. And with Kels, he has grown so much as a human being, as a hockey player, since I first met him. Nobody cares more, nobody competes harder. He is somebody that represents not only myself, but Bear and also the hockey club in a great way, a way that we believe that we can win a championship in the future with his leadership.
Cole Bagg with KSL Sports. Coach, what was the reaction of the team when you let them know that Kels was going to be the captain?
I don't think anybody was surprised. Remember not long ago, a few days ago, I told you when you have a captain, the media knows who's the captain, the owner knows who's the captain, the fans know who's the captain, the coach knew who was the captain, and the GM. I think there's something is important in that process. Is we didn't wake up and say, okay, what about naming a captain? It's not the way it happened. The way it happened is when we arrived 3 years ago, we had a young group of player, young group of leader, and we start to work with them on leadership. And for Bill and I, always been clear in our head of, in order to make the next step as a team, your leadership has to take over the team, has to take charge of the team, has to set the standard. It's not the coach who now say, hey, we worked hard enough, or it was good enough, or was not good enough. It's when it's your leader, and that takes time to develop, for one. And two, I think when you have it, then it's time to proceed. And the reason why we choose to give the seat to Kels, it's not because any other reason than Kels and the leadership group were at that point where they're ready to make the next step. And Kels is more than ready to be a captain. For me, it's a natural decision. And our team were all happy. You could see everybody knew who was the captain. There were no face who we seemed surprised or whatever. So I think for me, it went as good as I ever dreamed.
Rogan Houston from Deseret News. Clayton, I have a question for you. Whose game have you kind of modeled your own after in terms of being a captain? You played for lots of really good leaders in this league and in previous leagues as well.
Yeah, I think I've been lucky enough to play on some pretty good teams with some great leaders, and not always was the guy that was the biggest leader always to see. I don't know. I spent some time around. Ryan Lindgren was a great leader for us at the U.S. program, a guy that we kind of all looked up to, and some stuff that he was doing back then is stuff that I remember now, and Luke Cunnan as well with the U18s when I got to play with them for a long period of time, and they just had a great leadership group, and you could see why they were one of the best teams and they won all the tournaments. Just how close the group was, and they battled hard in practice, and they always had each other's backs. So that's something that definitely stuck out to me.
Ryan Miller from KSL.com. Coach, where specifically have you seen Clayton kind of grow as a leader over the last few years?
Well, I think it's for us, I will say for the coaches, Bill and the player, it's on the daily habit. I think Kel's 3 years ago was a much different person, and it's not a secret. His maturity in 3 years is absolutely amazing. The way he grew as a man, as a leader, as a player, it blew me away every year to see how much more mature he is, how much understanding he is. Funny story about Kels. I can have a conversation with Kels today, and he gave me the blank look, and then in 4 games from now, he will tell me, "Hey, that's what you're talking about." I talked about that 2 weeks ago, but that is Kels. He's always looking to get better, but sometimes he will record what you're saying, but now he needs to process it. He needs to put it in place. He needs to understand how to put that on the ice or off the ice or whatever. And then at some point it clicks, and now it's done for life. That's his growth. And when we're saying his growth in the last 3 years is amazing, that's exactly what it is. And Kels can say it. I can be on my boat during the summer, and boom, my phone rang, and it's Kels will send me a video about something he thought of. It's pretty cool, or it's something we can use with the team. That's Kels. He's 24/7 thinking, how can we get better? What can be good for the team? What's is good for me, or whatever. That's the way his brain works. So that's what I saw. To say one day specifically, no, it's every day. He's on it every day. Bill talked about it when he had his rehab. He was training 4 times a day. So that people was asking me, do you think Kels will be back? And for sure he will be back. He's a machine. So that's what happened.
Cole Bagley with KSL Sports. Clayton, 2 questions for you. First, what was just your initial reaction when they told you? And then for you, this team has not had a captain for some time. So what do you feel like is the significance to be the first captain, only for Utah, but the first captain in some time?
Yeah, initial reaction was, super excited. Like I said, so many people have sacrificed, everything for me to, be able to perform and grow as a person, as a player. And, I was just super thrilled. And, I think like Bear and Bill said, we're kind of on that hump there, and we're looking to take that next step. We have a great locker room, guys that have won Stanley Cups, guys that have played in meaningful games and high pressure games, and I'm looking forward to attacking this challenge with them and learning from them. I think, like I said, I'm obviously the captain, but there's a lot of guys in the room that matter a lot as well in terms of just pushing our team and getting us to that next level.
For Clayton, who was the first person you called when you found out you were captain, and why was that your choice?
Both my parents and my grandma as well. Just like I said, I owe so much to them. Growing up, they did everything for me to to be able to play in the NHL, moving away from home, it's not always easy on the parents. So, just super thankful for everything that they did for me and my grandma as well. My grandpa was a huge part of my career growing up, and he passed away. So my grandma's kind of my biggest fan now and watches every single game and practice, whatever. If someone tweets a picture or something, she's always the first one to text me and congratulate me on literally anything. So she's definitely an important part of my life.
Clayton, congratulations. You said attacking the challenge just moments ago. I want to go back a couple of years ago when you had a massive challenge ahead of you getting ready. How much did that change you in terms of, I guess, your mindset and what you did was remarkable, and that required a lot of dedication and determination. Did that change you at all going through all of that in terms of leadership?
Yeah, for sure. I think it was a pretty scary injury, and I think you probably remember, but one of the first things that came out of my mouth was, will I be able to play again? And once the doctor said yeah, I was kind of thrilled to hear that. Honestly, I didn't really know what was wrong with me, but it was a long process, and I think I grew so much as a person. Just it was really tough. I had to stay super patient. I couldn't really go out of the house for a long time. I was limping for 4 months, just kind of waking up every day like wondering when it's going to go away. And I think it helped me a lot. This game can be taken away from you at any point, and it goes back to what my dad said growing up. He's like, play every shift like it's your last, and that's something that kind of stuck with me.
Clayton, congrats. Question for you. They asked about people in the game that you've been around that are great leaders. What about people outside of hockey that maybe embody leadership for you, whether it's a family member or someone else?
Yeah, I think, my family for sure. I think, my dad was definitely big on leadership. He was, the one that was always there for me and always, did everything I can to, did everything he could to, make me successful. And, I've said it a bunch of times, but, he was like, at your size, you have to work twice as hard. And that's something that really stuck with me. And he's always, getting me books and different things to read. And it was actually a pretty cool story. When I was, probably 10 years old, he kind of had me write down all my goals and stick them on my door in my closet. And it was pretty cool because I was kind of able to check all of them off one day, and I signed it at the end. So it's something that I still have, and he's kind of the one that instilled that into me at a super young age.
Jay Stevens, Utah Puck Report. For Bill and Bear, just can you kind of define for us what you expect of a captain in the NHL and what the difference is between having a C and an A on your jersey?
Yeah. Well, the definition for me is a good captain is leading for the good of the team, not for yourself. That's the biggest thing for me. It has to be a driving factor inside the captain's mind. Like, he has the thoughtfulness of his team and driving that team forward. And I think that's based upon playing with guys that were good or bad captains. The difference between being a C and A, it's just a different role that you play. You probably have a more one-on-one relationship with the coach. I shouldn't speak for Bear, but that's there's a good impact on that. But I think you stand out in front, and there's nowhere to hide, I think, when you have the C on. So
for me, I don't think we'll have more one-on-one. My wife will start to be jealous. So, Kels and I were pretty. We have a lot of those. I think I will say almost daily. So that won't change. But that's the thing for us in our locker room. It already has that leadership established. Now having the C will make it more public or more official. But Kels was already a great leader in our team. It was a matter for us to make sure the time was right and the maturity was there and he was ready to face the responsibility Bill just talked about. And that's exactly what it is. The other thing for me, I look up and the captain, it's not when the thing will go well. When do you need a leader? It's when things are not going well, when adversity will happen, because adversity will happen, because that's part of the game. So that is when you need your leader. You need your guys who everybody can look up to, and that's why we've been through adversity, and he's battle proven, and I know he can do it when there's adversity.
Bill, do you know the rest of the leadership group, like assistant captains? Do you want to tell us?
We're not. We're just going to concentrate on the guy to my right today who's earned that the C. So we'll divulge that at a different time, and you can go through Bear on that one. He'll share it with the group eventually.
Bill, Bear, Alex Tumlick with the Hockey News again. So, Bill, Bear, besides the injury and the rehab, is there any kind of specific example you can point your finger on that kind of told you one day that Clayton would become the captain of this team?
Well, I'll go first and pass to Bear. His growth as a person stood out. We left him in some tough situations because to do a rebuild, it's not friendly for the players or coach. Everybody likes a rebuild around draft time, and nobody likes it around January and February if you're a player. So it's grueling, and you have to understand something. When Kel's walked into that room, and all the good players were gone. That's not an easy thing. He could have rolled over and just said, look, he had every excuse and thing. He didn't do that. So for me, that's where he earned a lot of my respect, is that he approached every day like, hey, we're going in that locker room, we're going to try and win. And he led by example. And if you look at his numbers, they're incredible. But he also, behind the scenes, and Bear talked about it, is forming that cultureship, working hard. You're the best player on the team. You got to be the best player in practice. You got to be the best player in warm up. You got to be the best player all the time, and that's what he does for us.
I think for me, where he really prove his value is how much he care about his teammate. That will be something. It's really important. He said it before. He's a really competitor, and he gets hot during the game, and he can push guys. But he cares so much about them. Sometimes I will be hard on the player, and Kel will talk to me about it. He will say, hey, we need to help this guy, stuff like that. He always have in mind his teammates. So that is one. And the other thing is desire to be better every day. It cannot be a better example of who we want to be as an organization. I think from the management, our scout, our high performance, our coaching staff, our player, we all have that. We want to have that shared value of we don't leave any stone unturned. We are striving for excellence every day. And there's no better example in our entire organization than Kel's. We talk about in Israel, but even this summer, we were hearing all summer about how hard he was working and how much more he was doing. And even the player at some point, where I was talking to them and they were saying, we hear about Kel's is tuned in and he's going hard again this summer and stuff like that. So that's leadership. That's what it's all about. That's what you want. That's what we want our team to be. We want to be obsessed by improvement. That's who we are. So that's online. So that plus a scare from his teammate for us was making it obvious. It was just to wait the proper time to do it.
Clayton, what do you see as your kind of responsibility as the captain in terms of reaching out to the fans and like community outreach programs and things like that?
Yeah, I think anytime you can spend time away from the rink and the community is great. Helping grow the game, going and helping the kids that maybe have never played hockey, or those are all events that us players love to do, and we're really looking forward to doing all those events. Aaron kind of went over a couple of them, what we're going to have this year. So I think I'm looking forward to it.
Clayton, what were those goals on your closet door?
I remember some of them. I think it was like shoot $1,000 a day. was like visited a couple colleges. I was doing some college visits at the time, get good grades, which wasn't always the case.
I can't believe you cursed that.
Playing the NHL was another one, and I can't remember the other one, but I think I had like 10 or so written down, so I'll only give you a few.
And Dursey told us this morning that he expects you to kind of just be the same guy. Do you fill a different weight, though, with that C?
I think, time will tell. I think, I'm excited for the challenge. I'm going to continue to be who I am. And, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, there's a lot of great leaders. And if one guy's slacking or I'm slacking, like we're there to pick each other up. And, this is new. And, they're there to help me and I'm there to help them.
Cole Bagley with KSL Sports. Clayton, there's a lot of different ways to be a captain. There's a lot of different captains who are known for certain things. What do you want to be known for as a captain in the NHL?
Yeah, I think just, always giving it, my all. Always having the players' backs and pushing for greatness. I expect big things out of our team and myself. And I truly feel we have a special group of players and people. And not all teams are as close as this one. So, I'm excited to, attack this, like I said, and, it should, be a lot of fun and I'm looking forward to it.